change your life in terms of Toastmasters. You need this information, you need it today, you need it right now. So please help me welcome our next presenter for what I will not describe because the name suggests something else to me, but he knows better what it's about. Tim Knights.
Intouchness. Intouchness is the key to the success of any organization. It came about in about 1990 when I was briefing my division governors, as we called them then. I was division director, I was district governor, and I was briefing my division governors. Now, division governor is a very lonely job because you've only got area governors who would contact you, and they're only interested in their clubs, and they hardly want to speak to you. And the cabinet doesn't have time to talk. So you're on your own. And I said, you need to keep in touch with everything. If you follow Intouchness, you will be successful. But before I explain about Intouchness, let me give you some examples of some good communication. And first of all, IBM was the big company about that time. No Google, no Facebook, no Amazon, none of those. But there was IBM. IBM are brilliant today in communication. And we are privileged to have a presentation given by one of the IBM directors in public relations, and he told us how he handled a major event that happened in South Africa because of isolation. I don't need to go into that, but these are the things that he taught me that I felt valuable. Communicate even if you've got nothing to communicate. It's human nature. You've got nothing to communicate, and keep quiet and shut up. And people say, what's happening? And so, if you've got a group of people, committees, working out something, and everyone wants to know what's going to happen, but the result isn't coming out, you don't remain silent. You say, sorry, I've got no information for you at this stage. Can you, I'll talk to you again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have something then. And people will be happier, not totally happy, but they will be happier than if you tell them nothing. So if you've got nothing to communicate, still communicate. The only way I know that you have communicated something properly is if they don't say it. They say to you, I know. Thank you. There's no need to tell me again. The only symptom there is that you have communicated properly. Now, is Meryl here? Meryl will tell you that you have to communicate something 4 to 7 times before it sinks in. Tell them once, over there. Tell them twice, over the head a bit more slowly. 3 times, what's this about? 4 times, oh, all right, it's opposite training on Saturday. Okay, I better go back. So that is necessary. Communicate until they complain. 4 to 7 times. Tell before they ask. Unfortunately, I cannot give you an example of this that fits Toastmasters very well. But I don't know about you, but I live in a mining area in Florida. And every now and then we hear an explosion. And what the heck is that? And sometimes we would complain, what was that noise on Monday morning? And if they thought we were just doing a bit of blowing up on the ground for mining. If they had said, announced in the paper or something, on Monday at 10 o'clock there will be a large explosion, or if they'd spoken to us personally, we would say, no problem, thanks for letting us know. The difference between telling beforehand, before asking, is that rage compared with gratitude for learning. So tell before they ask. So that's what IBM taught me. I worked in Golden Tweedy for a short while. I had a boss there called Herbie Kepler, and he was a very energetic plant manager. And he would go onto the plant and he'd be looking at things, how things are working, talking to the operators. Really excellent manager. And he walked past the sump. This sump was 5 meters long by 2 meters across and 3 meters deep, surrounded by a fence and a gate and a ladder going to the bottom. These are dangerous things on chemical plants. And he saw the gate to go in was loose. And so he summoned an artisans and said, "Would you fix that, please? But whatever you do, do not go into that sump." And so the artisan said, "Sure, thank you." And he got his tools, he went to the gate, got out a spanner, and dropped it into the sump. He looked around, no one about it. He climbed into the sump, get his spanner, and it was gas. That's why they're dangerous, because chemical plants have gases all over the place, and there's gas was in the sump. Fortunately, somebody saw him and rescued him, got him out in time. Went to hospital. Herbie visited him in hospital. "What were you doing? I told you, don't go in the sump." He said, "Herbie, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But you didn't tell me why." Here's a lesson in Toastmasters, because can you get your CC done before the end of June? Why? Someone's not into the DCP. If you get that, we will achieve an extra goal, which will be towards achieving select distinction that will really rate our club. So now the person knows why they've got to do this. So really a good example of the Toastmaster. Always brings a tear to my eye, that story. Campbell's soup, strange story. This was a video bite I saw on BBC, and it was about a man who said, "I trust my company," the Campbells, because they tell us things about the company, and then they make available the information to prove what they said. So I trust them. And trust is the heart of any organisation. Your EXCO committee, the committee you're members of, the cabinet. If there's trust, you will work well together. Now, this is trusting a company, and by having that information so that they can work it out for themselves, transparency, and that will lead to trust. And it's akin to our dashboard, where you can go in and see all the information you need about your club, your division, your area, your district. It's there available for you. And that gives you that transparency, which enables you to trust the organisation and also enables you to develop your club, because it's vital information for you. With your team, communication. The best form of communication is face-to-face. To talk across the table with somebody, that is the best way that you can do it. In your EXCO meetings, most of you will be doing that. Some of you will have fancy internet ways of doing it, which works just as well. Second to that is telephone, also not face-to-face, but one-on-one, and conference calls as well, Skype call, and GoToMeeting, which district uses a lot. Those are two-way communications, which is the heart of the matter. Then we come to one-way communication. We have email, the fabulous email systems we have, and then, of course, SMS, WhatsApp, and all those fabulous things that we can use, where one-way communication will work. Of course, you have a letter as well, which Toastmasters sends to World Headquarters. When I was VPE, I would travel on a Thursday to Rudaport Post Office and post 32 letters to my club members containing the programme for the meeting. If I got there by 10 o'clock on the Thursday, they would receive that in time for the meeting on the Monday. I thought that was the best way. I don't do it anymore. That aspect there. Other good aspects of good communication with your team. This comes from our district director. I wish he was here to back this up. This, I think, is terrific. So first of all, you want to communicate with one of your committee members who's not communicating, can't get hold of them. You chase them. You chase them again. And then Frank says, you drive round to their house and visit them. It's going to be effective, isn't it? So there's a thought for you. Maybe that comes from our district director. Now, this is some basic principles of good communication with your team and in life in general. Always reply. You get an email, you get a phone call message, you get an SMS. Always reply. As soon as you start doing that, I do this, and I heard someone say, I overheard them saying, bloody Knights, he always answers emails. Something I believe in. I believe it makes you successful. Then always be polite, but be assertive. Don't be frightened to say, no, we need to do this. Don't worry about that. We need to do this. Be assertive. And this is something I learned from my father when I was a teenager. Dad, I want to go out with the guys on Friday night. Son, you can't because you've got exams coming up. Dad, that's not fair. They're all going out. Son, you've got exams. You need to pass these exams. Oh, you're rotten to me. That's not fair. Son, it's best. The louder I got, the quieter he got. Leaning over it. But it's effective if you get an aggressive person. Don't meet trouble halfway. I love to do that. But if I can contain myself, I try my father's tricks. Thanks, Nick. And do that with your father. That will help. Now, just basic principles. Say what you're going to do. You communicate what you are going to do, and more importantly, do what you say. And the formula, the say-do ratio should be 1. You do it. And everything you say you're going to do, you do, and you get that say-do ratio of 1. Think about who should know something. What information? Who do I give this to? And the heart of the matter here is notify everybody. And there is this concept called on a need to know basis. Dreadful. Not a leadership trait. Tell everybody. If they say to you, well, what are you telling me this for? Just keeping you in the loop. Good communication. Don't fear risk of complaint. So why are you giving me this information for? It's keeping you in the loop. It's something that may help you. This is what other people are doing. To do that, you'll find it will help. And it avoids better than I don't know. Because you forgot to send it to somebody who did read. You send it to everybody, you're covered. Then throughout district, this is the kind of linkage that should occur, and it is obvious, but there is a subtle point. Firstly, Cabinet will discuss things with division directors. The division directors will discuss those things with the area directors, forming information going down the chain. They will communicate with the club officers, and the club officers will give it to the members. That's the process that should occur, and I encourage you to always do that. And there is one subtlety here, and that is that if you short circuit in with that, bear in mind it may be offensive. If a club member communicates to an area director, the committee says, hey, what are you doing? Why aren't you keeping us in the loop on this? So just be a little bit careful about bypassing, but you can do if you want to, but just be careful that that may happen. Build a relationship with the people you're dealing with, your team. Learn how they want to communicate with you. At this point, this is a half-an-hour presentation, but how am I doing? Fine. So normally I break for half an hour now and give you all an assignment of finding out, form groups, and find out how everyone in the group likes to communicate. And then report back. So find out, you'll be surprised. There's some people like to communicate. Some people like email, some people like WhatsApp, some people like Facebook, some people like telephone. And find that out with your team, and particularly the time. IPPE says, don't bother me over weekends. I do other things in Toastmasters over weekends. We do have a rude awakening soon, but that's it. And in touch with information, keep in touch with information that you will help you with your work. And you have the dashboard. You all know the dashboard? Everyone, sorry. Anyone here not familiar with the dashboard? Don't be shy. Okay, dashboard is the way you go into the Toastmasters website and you go to a certain place there and it gives you all the information about your club, other clubs and everything else. Find out about the dashboard, not why they don't know. Find out about it and use it, and it will help you in your job. Toastmasters tools, very few of you know about that one. That is another source of information about your club and district. So look for that one. And another one is Rafferty, gives a lot of information about it. Now, what is wrong with those things? What is wrong with those tools? Giving you the information that you want.
It's reactive.
It's reactive. It's not up to date. It's up to the last time somebody put the information in there. And this one I preach to area directors mainly. Get up to date with what's happening in your club. The only way you do that is an effective club visit, a regular club visit, find out what's going on there. Same thing goes for you club officers, with your members. How are people doing with their assignments? Are they going to finish their CC or their level 1 by the end of June? Be in touch with that and back that up with the dashboard, update the website if necessary. So the actual situation, and so be what we say on the ball. Know what's going on in your club. Be in touch with what's going on in your club. Now these are findings. What I have talked to you about so far is largely about my generation. Now, I'm a baby boomer. Most of you are millennials. We are different. You respect me, I respect you. I have spoken to several millennials, I've worked with a few. I have spoken to someone that does work a lot. And this is what came out of that study. With emails, which are very valuable, but use the subject for the summary of what you're saying. So don't just put Toastmasters in the email subject. Put in there errant dues payers. So you can see immediately what that email is about. So that the person who's interested is going to open it immediately. The body of the toast is for background information and for detail. So there you say, Tom, Dick and Harry have not paid their dues. Frida has promised to pay. I will chase up Tom, Dick and Harry. That's the kind of thing. Try to include a core fraction, so I will contact Tom, Dick and Harry about that. With emails, with Facebook, with all these things, beware the written word can be damaging, can be hurtful. So be very careful what you put in print before you send it out. When I used to send out angry emails, I always used to not press the send button. Again the next morning. You know, I never sent one. tonight. And I would say, next time I said, hey, thanks for that email, that's interesting. So, say-do ratio mentioned already, needs to be close to 1, follow that principle, do what you say. Reliability is a vital leadership quality. Set an example. Leadership by example, you do nothing else in leadership. You leadership by example, so people will say, hey, that person, I know what I'm going to follow that person. She is the right person. I'm going to do the same thing. Do things on time, same sort of thing, really. Say what you mean and do what you say. Say-do ratio. Think about this. How did they make you feel? Communicating with people, how did they make you feel? Use that information you get, but then how do you make them feel? And the answer to that one should be, they should feel pretty good about dealing with you. And some people are sensitive. I'm very sensitive. I get upset very easily. Growing out of it, you'll be pleased to know. It does mean I am sensitive about other people, and that's a very valuable thing for me. This is something very significant. The current generation has been brought to collaborate. You naturally collaborate. I don't. It's all part of my childhood upbringing, where I was taught to be seen and not heard. Not to mix and interfere with other people, be on your own. But what you have, what you're developing, collaboration, is absolutely wonderful, and I'm evolving it more myself. You need to know why. But you didn't tell me why. You need to know why. You're not going to do things unless you know why. You're going to be driven by purpose. There's no purpose, you're not interested. You see the purpose of Toastmasters, then you're going for it. If someone gives you an instruction, you're not sure why, you're not interested. You're not loyally just do it. Now then, PC. What does PC stands for? Does it be correct? It stands for Presbyterian Church. It stands for Personal Computer. I'm saying it stands for, I'm introducing you to a brand new concept here, proficient communicator. What is a proficient communicator? You've heard it all before. Always replies. Email, telephone message, SMS, WhatsApp, always replies. Has a say-do ratio of 1. They're reliable. They tell all and they say why. Transparent. They tell before they are asked. They are proactive. They build relationships based on trust. And they have the skill to use the telephone. It's a difficult skill. But I was brought up with that. The only communication we had apart from telegrams, letters. So you use the telephone. So if you can use that telephone, then you will be much more skilled. Now, looking at that, if you are a proficient communicator, I will send you a certificate from the Intouchness certificate. The Intouchness Institute. ITI. I will send you a certificate from the Intouchness Institute to say that you are a proficient communicator and you can use the letters PC after your name. How will I know? If you're a proficient communicator, you will make sure I get the information. So, the heart of the matter is Intouchness. If you can follow those rules and be in touch with your team, I promise you, you will have a successful term of office. Do you have any questions?
Was that very
me I'm over time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, one question because I didn't realize I was over time.
So many of your slides have such great content and such great learning points. May I ask that they be distributed afterwards?
All means, Ennis?
Any questions?
Anyway, I'll give him the Ennis, I'll give you the slides and you can distribute them. Okay, my time is up. And the chairman, I can finish my assignment.
Thank you so much, Tim. I'm going to take a moment away from the program and invite Gumtry to explain about a raffle that we're having today. Just in a few minutes to catch up on our time, please help me welcome Gumtry.
Good evening, everyone.
The windows.
Good morning, everyone. So we're having a raffle taking place throughout the course of this morning. Please feel free to come through to me. Eskom has been quite kind enough to set the tone. The weather outside is setting the tone. So we've got 3 lovely bottles of wine to give away. 1 ticket, 10 rand. 3 tickets, 20 rand. So start checking your wallets, Jerome, already you're on the right track. And feel free to come through to me. I'm seated by the pink ice cream box. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kamu. Are you guys ready for our guest speaker? Are you guys ready to hear from our guest speaker?
Yes.
The thing is, if you guys don't really respond well, he's not able to come down. You guys know this. Are you guys ready? Yes! People say these days that person, you know that person has that thing. Our next speaker has these things, okay? Listen carefully. Our next speaker, as an executive vice president, energy and sustainability, Maurice is responsible for Sasol's energy business globally. He's accountable for the successful marketing of all the energy business products, as well as managing the gas to liquids joint ventures in Qatar and Nigeria, the gas to power venture in Mozambique, and potential GTL and GTP ventures worldwide. I know some of you are confused, right? He's going to explain most of those things. I would, but you know, I don't want to cut into the time. Maurice is an experienced business executive who has engaged at high level with governments as well as other stakeholders within a highly regulated environment. He's passionate about leadership and developing talent. He's involved with numerous initiatives to realize this passion and develop successful leaders. This includes the establishment of an Energy Leadership Center at Wits Business School, board membership on the National Mentorship Movement, and founder of Unleashing Business Potential. I left the other 2 pages on my seat. Our guest speaker today, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Maurice Hadebe, is an Executive Vice President of Energy Business School for Sasol Limited and the Chairman of South African Petroleum Industry Association. Now here's the thing. Our guest speaker today, I'm correct if I say, is not a Toastmaster. That means this man has no idea how loud an applause can get. He doesn't know how crazy an applause can get. To educate him as he comes down to educate us. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome with the loudest, biggest, maybe on your feet, most joyous and crazy applause, Mr. Maurice!
very humbling. That's very humbling. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Huge program director, you know, really good. I think you deserve a round of applause. I'm a baby boomer like Tim, and I listened to his presentation. That's why I came a bit early. I learned a lot. I think he delivered a great one. Yeah? So thank you very much. This is the second time I come here, and courtesy of Audrey, she just got a way of getting into the heart of my PA. And wherever I need to be traveling, my PA just say, please, you must just come to do it. So she cancels and moves my diary. So, Audrey, you're doing a great job. Wonderful to be here, and it's really great to see an organization like Toastmasters because it impacts you with what Tim was talking about: communication, leadership, social skills, how to navigate your way through this very turbulent world life. And I thought I should talk about that. Last year I was here and I talked about purpose. Those that were here, let me just check who's here. It's quite a lot of people here. I talked about purpose, but today I just want to talk about leading in turbulent times. You would agree with me that the world is in turbulent right now. Let me just go globally first and then come back to where we are. The emergence of Donald Trump in the international stage was in itself a source of major turbulence. Would you agree with me on that? And then I remember very well, I was in the plane actually when the voting for Brexit was taking place, and I thought, oh, man, there's no way it could happen. And when I landed at Old Tambo, I hear the news. Brexit is a decision has been made. And for the last 2 years, we've been on a turbulent. The whole Europe has been turbulent. And then we have now trade wars between China and the United States of America. Those of us who are running global businesses are in a state of turbulence. It's amazing how the world is in a turbulent situation. And the Middle East is in the turbulence, the war in Yemen, Syria, Saudi Arabia. Amazing turbulence throughout the world, and especially for leaders like you and us who are running global organizations, it's a sense of turbulence. And you go back, come close to my business in particular, the crude price goes up to 100, and it comes down to 50, to 40, and I don't know how to manage my business when it comes to that kind of environment. And the rate goes up and down. The market is volatile. How do you lead in that kind of environment? And let's come back to our continent. Nigeria is voting today. As you know, elections cause major turbulence. Anyway. And then we've entered our own silly season called elections. Already the turbulence that you see, Zongo Commission, and all sorts of things coming up. You look at the television and you realize the whole of our country is in turbulence. The transition of leadership from President Jacob Zuma to right now President Cyril Ramaphosa in itself, any transition of leadership causes major turbulence. So you agree with me that we're living in a turbulent world, in a turbulent country. And then what, as if that's not enough, the fourth industrial revolution is on us already. And it's going to change major ways of doing business, the way we think, the way we prepare schooling, the way we change, we make sure that our children are going to be ready for that. That's turbulence. And the transitions happen all over us. I'm sure Toastmaster is not immune to turbulence because you've got transition all the time. And in your own company, you may be going through turbulence. Maybe there's a change in leadership. Maybe there is some serious challenges you're facing. Maybe you're going through financial crisis. Maybe you're going through even bankruptcy. And it's a very turbulent environment. And in your own personal life, you also go through turbulence. Loss of the loved one, sometimes separation of relationships. and going through retrenchments and going through all these things. So I thought it would be worthwhile that we just talk about leadership, because that's a subject I'm passionate about. In turbulent times. Are we still together? Okay. And in turbulent times that we're facing in South Africa, particularly elections, I would like, if you are interested to know what the impact of the elections is going to be, we in ULP are organizing a think tank on the 2nd of March at BLS8, Business Leadership South Africa, starting at 9 o'clock. If you want to know more details, speak to Theo. Theo, raise up your hand so that they can see it. Okay. Now, let's now go into the story. I was just giving the context now. When we're faced with the turbulence as a leader, I would like to suggest that you maintain 3 perspectives. Because normally when turbulence comes, you just get into this other confusion, kind of situation which become hysterical, panic, anxiety, all the things happen. But I just want to suggest to you, the next time you're facing a turbulent situation, you have 3 perspectives. The first one is the external perspective. The second one is internal perspective, and the last one is personal. I'll go through each one of them. Let's start with the external perspective. External perspective, you can take a view and say, well, this risk that is here, or this crisis that is here is going to wipe me out. But let me tell you, there's a saying which we say in business, do not waste any crisis. Because when there is a crisis, when everybody else is looking at all the challenges, there are opportunities. And that's a perspective I want you to have whenever you're facing crisis. It may be so damning, it may be so gloom, it may be so threatening, but look at opportunities. It's critical to have that external perspective that says, what does value creation look like when markets are volatile? In my business, that's what I always look like. Look, markets are volatile, things are not going away. Where are the next frontiers of making money? And we do that quite regularly. That is why, for instance, we look at the situation and says, okay, the upstream side is in deep trouble because the crude price, but the downstream side is fine. Let's focus on our retail business and make sure we extract as much margin out of it. Maybe your business, you must think like that. We look at all the products that we sell and says, okay, the crude price has been affecting our liquid fuels business, but our chemical business can grow. And therefore we have a geographical diversification program that focuses on chemical and specialty chemicals and look at the different opportunities. Critical that you always look at that. The second one is internal. Look at your own organization. If it's Toastmaster or your business, look at your organization very, very carefully and say, does it have the capabilities to capture opportunities that results in the crisis? And most of wealth shifting happens during crisis. And it's only those that seize those opportunities that actually move and capture. And it's organizations that are versatile, organizations that are flexible, organizations that are able to see opportunities in the midst of all challenges. The final one is you as a leader. Do you have what it takes to be an effective leader in turbulent times? I suggest that you look at yourself, if there's any assignment I can give you, to do it personally. And if you want, when you've done that, you can drop me an email and say, this is the one. Maybe we can start a one-on-one mentorship program as a result of that email. And says, listen, these are the qualities that I think I have in terms of surviving a turbulent environment. But maybe I'm short here. Shall we work together and help each other? That's very good. So external, internal, and personal, very important. Let's now go a little bit, let's delve a little bit on external perspective. External perspective, as I say, it's very important. You scan and find value and create opportunities. And consider what are the value creating opportunities generated by turbulence. Turbulence, by its very nature, creates new opportunities. And that's very important. The second one is really flourish actively in uncertainty. I'm sure having been in this organization, you must have been taught by every leader that has come here, and some of the leaders were expert about eagles. Have somebody told you about eagles? Yeah. They're sure they've taught you. That is it. Oh, this one's safe. Do you want?
About the eagle.
You want to hear? Anybody else want to hear? No, regret things. Want to hear about an eagle? Yeah. You see, the eagle uses a storm in order to go high. You see, when the storm comes, when all the other animals, chickens, they all run for cover, and they all go down and high. The eagle, when the storm comes this way, it faces it and it opens its wings. And it uses the force of the storm to propel it up. As it opens its wings, as the storm hits it, it propels it up. As the storm hits it, it goes up. As the storm hits it, it goes until it flies above the storm. And then from there it cruises. And it can fly for hours and hours, for miles and miles and kilometers and kilometers. Because it has used the storm's forces to propel it to the higher echelons of life. So stop being a chicken. Now no more chicken. You are an eagle. You're going to use any turbulence to propel you to your greatest protection that God has given you. Are we agreed? Yes. Are we together? Yes. I don't hear you, man. Yes. So we can flourish in an uncertainty. And that's the message I have for you. And then if you're in business, think about how you can really, very important, to keep external presence and keep leading when you're a leader and keep showing your followers that you are there. Don't be passive and run away. And then if you're a company like a business, how can you commercialize that? Now, normally when you are in crisis, like most of the time in business is when you've got a financial crisis and you've got to focus. Every CFO of a company will be saying to you, cut costs. And all of you focus on that and forget about revenue opportunities that are available. Trust me, I've been there before. When I was running Excel Petroleum, we had a major crisis when one of the major customers went bankrupt and took us out for more than 40 million rand. And for a small company like ours at that time, we were tinkering on the brink of bankruptcy. And I could have taken an opportunity and said, cut costs and let's not do anything there. But I said, cut costs and it's prudent, but let's look how we can grow the business, how other opportunities, how we can replace this customer with other customers in order to be able to grow. Because no one saved himself to grow. Are we together?
Yes.
So that's the external perspective. Let's continue. Now going to the internal perspective. Am I right there? Right, let's see. How are you doing there? Internal perspective, let's go to maintain momentum. Maintain momentum. When you're faced with crisis, the natural things, inertia comes and paralysis comes. And you just don't want to move. When you're in crisis, just move. Maintain momentum. Make sure your organization is not paralyzed. And that's you as a leader needs to do that. And we tend to postpone everything, but maintain momentum. Because I tell you, this storm shall pass. And then focus on performance. And let people, particularly your leaders, must focus on performance. Now, whenever there is a storm, there's people who are peddlers of toxic environment in any organization. Avoid them, confront them, because they're going to start selling rumors. We're all going to be retrenched. We're all going to be losing our jobs. this management team, these leaders are, and all sorts of rumors go around. And there are people who are toxic. Deal with them quickly. I'm not going to suggest how you on a one-on-one, when you tell me your exact story, and then you tell me you've got a toxic peddler of environment here, how do I deal with it? I'll tell you how to deal with it. Okay? Right now I'm just giving you the principle. Because those people distract performance. That is where you need to be performing at your... And then make decisions in ambiguity. You see, sometimes you always want to wait as leaders to get all the information, analyze it until you're paralyzed by it and are not able to move. In a turbulent environment, when there's crisis, make decisions. If it's wrong, change it. Are you with me?
Yes.
It's better to make a decision. Don't pass the buck to other people. And that's a mark of leadership. To take decisions with ambiguous information. That is why you need internal moral compass that will say, you're not going in the right direction. Just feel it in your belly sometimes. Take decisions, and we've got organizations that are in deep trouble because leaders did not take decisions fast enough, quick enough during the time of ambiguity. Let's move to internal perspective. What is critical when you're a leader, and I don't know what organization you're running, but I know when we're in crisis, just like now, we're in challenging times. You must have read about it, us in our organization. The most important thing that I do with my team is to motivate them. Because you need to motivate people, because that time people are fearful. They're fearing for their lives. They're fearing for their jobs. They're fearing that what is going to happen in South Africa. Should I immigrate or not? They're fearful for their children. Fearful for their retirement. You need to motivate them. But you need to demonstrate emotional and personal benefit of being part of the organization. You know why? Because during the crisis, people want to jump out. Jump ship. And normally they jump from a frying pan and they jump into a real fire of God. I've been in an environment actually when we're in transition of excellence, we were busy selling into Samsung. And I had a lot of information as a leader, but while some of it was privileged, so he couldn't release it. And one of my employers was so nervous and was a very faithful, good guy that would build the organization. And I knew that the future is better than what we had, but he wanted to hang on to what we have, the status quo. And he came to me in complete distress, crying. I mean, this is a man, big man. Crying, and he says, I want out, I want to resign. And he gave me his resignation. And I'm restricted by privileged information, which you can't disclose, particularly when you're dealing with a listed company, you can't disclose information. So I said to him, listen, man, there is future. So I had to show him the future, but he still didn't hear me, and he gave me the resignation application. But as a leader that I knew that there's more beneficial opportunities for him, I said to him, listen, I'm taking your resignation, but I'm not accepting it. I tell you. I said, come to me again in a month's time. See whether you want to resign. Because at that moment in time, the announcement was coming, and we were going to get a huge amount of benefit. Because we unlocked value for shareholders, and all the shareholders were also employees. But if I didn't show him the benefit in that crisis in his mind, he would have jumped out and lost them all. So just be there. And then you must lead, if you're a leader, lead upwards and across. Now when leadership happens, when crisis happen, your line managers, if you've got line, they also get paralyzed. They are not able to communicate to people on the ground. You as a leader, you need to communicate across the lines. You see right now, because of the crisis, with all the challenges that we're facing in in the US and the crude price, we just call the whole team. We call even the lowest people. And we address them because they want to see leaders. And when they see you exuding, showing a calmness, they are also get calm. So, very important, because if you rely on information that's going to go through the line, it's just going to be distorted in translation. Now, let's finish the internal one. Let's go finally now to you personally. I said there's three perspectives. External, and then internal of the organization, and you personally. In times of turbulence, don't allow turbulence to buffet you. Don't you dare allow. You're a leader, you're here, you're being prepared for turbulence. Whether it's in your family, it may be distorted, it may be painful, it is very important. Somebody in the family needs to stand up and lead, particularly if you've got a clan like ours. I mean, you know, we African people, we've got extended uncles. Yeah. So if there's a turbulence that is happening or somebody is passed on, you need to rise up and say, so give direction. Because otherwise we could Anthony from Kwa, Anthony from Zulu, they all come and give instructions. And some of them get you to do things which they're going to cost you a lot of money. And you need to stand there and give leadership. Are you with me?
Yes.
And maintain focus and discipline. And exercise emotional maturity to calm followers. You know, people when in classes, they become like sheep. They need to be followed. You need to say, we're going this way. And people follow. When you actually show and have realistic confidence, they follow. And you've been trained to be leaders. And there's a time that you need to show it. So the next thing is, give yourself permission to be flexible. In an uncertain environment, things change very quickly. You may make the decision and you thought with the information you had today was correct and right, and then 3 days later it is a wrong decision. Maintain flexibility to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, let's move on, this is the next decision now. And that is very important. And when new information comes, you make a decision again. And this is very important. I'm talking about flexibility, not indecision or inconsistency. Because it's important to make decisions, but not be indecisive, because that's even worse. You run faster than me, yeah? Okay, let me put it this way. And then finally, I want you, don't stop developing yourself. That's it. You see, we're talking fourth industrial revolution. We the baby boomers don't even understand where it's going. But I've started to understand now what is. We've got these teams of smart young people like you. We call them sprint, they do all sorts of things. And I just learned that one of the skills that is so critical is coding. And you better make sure your son and the daughter is growing up right now to understand that there is a job called coding. And I'm starting to understand and unpack for myself what it does mean. What does digitalization mean for our own organization? For serving customers, for production, for manufacturing, to running Secunda, to running Sasumba. And then this is the whole cyber world. Where are we vulnerable? Where can we be attacked? Where can we be destroyed? And I'm very fast becoming an expert on the fourth industrial revolution. And yet I'm a baby boomer. It's critical that you learn new skills and develop them and encourage your team to do so. Right now, the biggest ethical dilemma we're facing is about what it will do to our people in terms of employment and unemployment. We've got a major crisis in this country of unemployment. Now, if we go down this route, I mean, we've done a robotic in our company, which looks at the accounting, repetitive accounting work, like accounts receivable and paying of credit cards. That work is done by a team of these people, like the old. And the robot, and it takes them 3 months. And the robot can do that thing in about 3 days. That means all 100 people must go. Now we're going to get into an upskilling and reskilling and unlearning and learning. Critical. So personally, you need to focus and you need to allow yourself flexibility and don't stop learning. And in conclusion, which has been on the screen, very, very important. If you're a leader, do not allow your anxiety to become contagious. You see, if you walk in, I listened to one of the great leaders, Ran Pretorius, he said, when you're a leader, see, there's a switch on, if there's a switch on to switch on the lights. If you enter the door, if you're a leader, you switch on the lights, and there's light. And you switch it on with the way you show up when you get into that office or get into that leadership place. Or you can get into the room and switch off the light by the way you show up. If you show up with confidence, with enthusiasm, even in the midst of crisis, you lift everybody with you. If you show up moody, gloomy, desperate, anxious, you spread that moody, gloomy, doomsday environment throughout the whole organization. So choose today how you're going to show up in turbulent times. Thank you very much.
Ovation all 7 times I left. Thank you so much, sir. And just as a reminder, as you've heard him, he said that the next ULP event, if you guys would like to be there or be part of it, you have to see Theo. Theo? There's Theo. And Theo, if you'd like a program director, you can see Tando for scheduling my diary. Tando? Thank you so much, Ms. Tando. You've been so amazing. We appreciate the amount of wisdom you imparted on us. I'd like to show my appreciation, and all of us would like to show our appreciation. I'd like to ask our division director to give you a small present for you. Please help me welcome Audrey.
Something for my joy, something that the whole family can enjoy. Today I've learned that I need to be an eagle and fly above the storms. And my favorite part was that since we're at the time of a transition, of changing new leaders, new committee members, we need to show our leadership skills by being there. So are you guys going to run away or are you going to be there? Be there. Be there. Thank you so much.
is that our program convener would love to know your thoughts about the program today. If you look at the program, the last feature on the program has a link. Please do visit that link, evaluate what you felt about our event today, what you loved about it, what you'd love to see next, because we would love to keep improving for you guys and bring more features that you'd love to. So the next session, which we will have to cut a bit short, Madam Tana, is breakaway sessions. I'm sure we've all seen Meryl. Anyone don't know Meryl? Would you like me to ask Meryl to stand? There's Meryl. Meryl will be hosting Navigate Your Way Through the Corporate, the program for navigating your way through corporate. And then we also have Tabo, who will be hosting How to Convert Guests into Members. Tabo. There's Tabo. So everyone can choose which session they would like to attend, correct?
Yes. Alright, so the people who are attending the corporate, navigating the corporate jungle, please follow me past reception and we're going to go up the stairs to one of the rooms upstairs there.
Thank you, Meryl. And Tabo, please tell us where your group will be heading to.
We will be heading closer to the front.
Okay, so what Tabo basically means that if you want to learn how to convert your guests into members, then stay in this room. I'm hearing a lot of chat. Are those messages to me? Are those to me? Okay, so we're going to break. I'm going to ask our timers to tell us what time we're going to be back.